Going to begin our look at the Oregon and California trails. The trail went from Independence, Missouri, which, if you've ever been to a Chiefs or a Royals game, you've been to Independence, Missouri. It's a suburb of Kansas City. But back then, actually, it was the biggest town around here. It was bigger than Kansas City. Anyhow, it left from Independence and it went to Oregon and California. Somewhere out near what today is Utah or Idaho, it split. If you went off to the right, you were going to Oregon. And if you went off to the left, it went a little bit southwest and you went to California. The journey took 4 to 6 months. Started in 1830, and I put on there, thanks Jedediah Smith. He was the guy that found a better way through the Rocky Mountains than what Lewis and Clark found. Didn't really get big until around 1840, and lasted about till 1860, and then it kind of died out. What ended it was the railroad. Once a railroad is built to the west, people have no need to go across in a covered wagon. It did pass through Kansas. Shawnee Indian Mission was the last stopping point. It was one of the last places of civilization. About 400,000 people used the trails over that 20-year period, mostly middle-class people. Reason why, it was expensive. You had to buy a wagon, a team of animals to pull the wagon, and all the supplies. So we didn't see poor people typically traveling on it. It was dangerous. 5 to 10% died, probably a little bit closer to that 10% number. We'll talk later how people died or why they died. People that did make this trip, they were so proud that they made it. This was like a life achievement. And later, when they died in California or Oregon, they often had the dates of their trips inscribed on their tombstones. So why were people going west in the first place? There were different reasons, and these were from newspapers back then. Said this one was from a New Orleans newspaper. It says those bound for Oregon are pioneers like those of Israel that followed Moses through the wilderness. Going to Oregon is also patriotic. It is our manifest destiny to settle the West. So some people looked at the manifest destiny aspect. Most people, this was the reason. In Oregon, there are spacious, fertile valleys where good crops can be grown. Free land is available. Although there is still land to be had back east, prices are rising and economic conditions are poor. So most of the people that went were going for free farmland. A little bit later, 1849, gold is discovered in California, and that will send a lot of people west. So people are going to take the Oregon Trail. People were going west, very few of them, but they were going west before this. Reason not many people went is because your options weren't great. So Independence, Missouri was here. You got to get out to California. Before 1840, before this trail was established, here are your two options. Number one, take a boat all the way down around South America and up the Pacific coast to San Francisco. That, if I remember right, takes about 9 months. Extremely dangerous. Or you could go this route. Same thing, take a boat, but you go in through the Caribbean in Central America. You get off your boat. You cross through about 100 miles of jungle to the other side, and you pick up a boat that goes up this way. Again, not great options. That's why we didn't see many people going west.